TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And I want to let you know that the State of the Saints podcast is brought to you by Manscaped. Over 2 million men worldwide have joined the movement for all their below-the-waist needs. Engineers for the last 18 months have perfected the greatest hair trimmer ever created, the Lawnmower 3.0. The third-generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology pioneered by Manscaped. You can choose the Lawnmower 3.0 as well as other items by going to manscaped.com, and you can also save 20% by using the promo code STATEOFSAINTS. That's manscaped.com. Use the promo code STATEOFSAINTS and save 20% on the Lawnmower 3.0 as well as other Manscaped items. That's manscaped.com.
Hey, what's going on, Who Dat Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. Happy Friday to you. Hope everyone's having a good day. I know I am. I want to thank you all for checking out the State of the Saints podcast, where we talk New Orleans Saints. And on this edition, we're going to be talking about punter Thomas Morstead. I'm pretty sure all of you in the Who Dat Nation have heard by now that longtime punter Thomas Morstead has been released from the New Orleans Saints. They released him after 12 years. And, you know, normally when a punter gets cut, it's not really that big of a deal. You know, like, you know, if you see a punter get cut, you're like, oh, okay, whatever, you know, get me a new one. But Thomas Morstead meant so much to the Who Dat Nation, the New Orleans Saints organization. You know, honestly, Thomas Morstead represent almost the beginning of the Saints' success. You know, like when the Saints really became like a household name among NFL, you know, upper echelon teams. He was that guy. You know, I mean, Drew Brees got there in 2006, but when Thomas Morstead got drafted coming out of SMU, he was the guy. You know, the Saints went to the Super Bowl that year, and that's when the Saints really started to generate a huge level of success. Thomas Morstead, I got to say, man, this guy, one of the best punters in the National Football League. He was a guy that you can count on. You didn't really have to worry about him too much making a lot of mistakes. I think only one game that I can just really think about where Thomas Morstead probably had one of his worst performances, and that's 1 in 12 years. But for the most part, I mean, he has done an outstanding job, man, making sure that some of the best punters, punt returners in the game can, you know, return punts for touchdowns. I mean, putting people inside the 10-yard line. I mean, the hang time was just ridiculous. And, you know, not to mention his guts. You know, like, I know we all remember the time where he actually broke his ribs in a game versus the Minnesota Vikings, the game with the Minneapolis Miracle. And he still was out there punting. And when Stephon Diggs actually scored their touchdown and the Saints players, someone went to the locker room, Thomas Morstead came back out just to be a part of the extra point for the Vikings. So I think he ended up like getting a key to the city or something like that. Or, I mean, they really, showed him some love out there in Minnesota for showing those type of cuts. But, you know, Thomas Morstead is mostly known for the onside kick in Super Bowl 44, right? That was the kick that changed the whole entire game. I mean, you know, the Saints got the ball back and Pierre Thomas scored on a screen pass. So Thomas Morstead will be missed. Like I said, normally we don't hear people talking about punters, but Thomas Morstead meant a lot to the New Orleans Saints. And, you know, I've seen pictures of him. I think Will Lutz put a picture out of him and him and Thomas Morstead on vacation together. And you can tell in the eyes of Thomas Morstead, you can tell he was crying. He was emotional about it. And, it's sad to see. I just think that we need to look at this guy. I ain't saying in the same light as a Drew Brees, but he is up there. You know what I'm saying? He is one of those guys. He is the, Drew Brees retires and Thomas Morstead leaves. That's it. That's everybody that was a part of their Super Bowl team that was a player at the time. So, I guess you can add Malcolm Jenkins. Malcolm Jenkins is there, but Malcolm Jenkins is on the second stint. But I'm talking about lifers, okay, long-time Saints players. Thomas Morstead and Drew Brees, those were the guys, and he's going to be missed, man. I appreciate everything he's done. He's going to be playing on somebody else's team. It wouldn't surprise me if he ended up with the Falcons or even with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or even the Minnesota Vikings, but he's going to end up somewhere. And looking forward to seeing Thomas Morstead kick in the National Football League, and hope he has continued success at the age of 34. He should be 35 by the start of the 2021 season. But going to miss you, man. And thank you so much for the memories. And we just appreciate everything you've done for the New Orleans Saints organization and all the great moments you gave us in the Who Dat Nation, especially your trademark zero when the Saints offense is clicking and you don't get the punt in the game. So we're going to miss you, Thomas, man. Godspeed, my friend. But let's go ahead. Let me see what you all have to say. And once again, I'm looking up at the screen because I connected my computer to my television, my 75-inch television screen, okay? Humble brag right there, humble brag. But I'm looking up at the screen so I can see you all clearly. And we made some changes, man, here on the State of the Saints podcast. I got my nice brand new microphone right here. This is the first time the State of the Saints podcast is broadcasted live in 1080p. So we doing big things over here, man. So I'll go ahead and see what you all have to say. We're going to let's go ahead and start with Chanel, man. Let's start with some of our first responders out there. She giving a shout out to Jerry. Chemo said the leg will be missed. No doubt about that. Hall of Fame. I don't know about all that. I look at like he was a good punter, but there was a lot of times where he kind of flew under the radar. And most of the time, they don't be wanting to show no love to the punters when it comes to the Hall of Fame, unless you like, somebody like Adam Vinatieri, who most likely going to get in there, or, somebody like Morton Anderson, guys that have been kicking for a long time. So I don't know about the Hall of Fame, but Saints Hall of Fame, no doubt. Thomas Morstead gave us momentum and that Super Bowl. He definitely did. Like I said, it changed the dynamic of the whole entire game. The Saints, they needed a spark, and they got it. They got it. So shouts out to him. Count says, what's up, everybody? Who that? Randy says, most remembered play was the onside kick. Yeah, I mean, that stands out. I mean, that's the most important play of Thomas Morstead's career, especially since that's the one and only Super Bowl the Saints have. Doing great, Jared, working a lot, and I'm happy to catch a live stream. Well, Chanel, we thank you for everything that you're doing. Shouts out to all the first responder hospital workers out there, making sure that people are being happy and healthy and, caring for those out there that's dealing with COVID-19. And, hopefully this stuff will, subside after a while. I encourage everybody out there, if you have not already get the opportunity, please, take the vaccine. I mean, look, I know everybody trying to make this stuff political, but take care of yourself, man. Take care of yourself. I actually had opportunity to take the vaccine. I've taken it. I feel fine. I mean, no issue. I made the second shot. I think I had a fever and some chill for a couple hours, but after that, I was fine. So if you get opportunity, please do. And shouts out to all the first responders once again. Jermaine says, no, we got a punter named that guy Gilligan from Gilligan's Island. You're talking about the guy from Penn State. Yeah, I mean, they got a cool picture of him going around right now. He got a mullet on. He got a mullet. So, I mean, but he was on the team last year. The Saints kind of put him on injury reserve, and he was like a kicking intern last year. So he learned under Thomas Morstead. And so I'm interested to see what he's going to do. King C3 says, what's your favorite product from Manscaped? My favorite product from Manscaped is the Lawnmower 3.0. That's my favorite. That's my favorite item, man. You know, I like the fact that you can actually shave while in your shower. You know what I'm saying? You can groom yourself while you're in the shower. You know, it's water resistant. You know, and I like, you know what I'm saying? I like the whole. I mean, it's a really good product, man. That's probably the best one. All the rest of the products, you know, they're fine as well, but that's the one that stands out to me. I can tell you, my stepfather, he actually purchased the razors, and he says that he really loves the razors. So they have some really good products, man. I wouldn't be plugging something that I wouldn't use. That Lawnmower 3.0 is a really good item, though. All right. But thank you so much. And once again, this show is brought to you by Manscaped. Okay, they're official sponsor of the State of the Saints podcast, and I thank them so much for, you know, being a partner here with us, and looking forward to telling you all about some products in the future. Let's see where we at. Let's go with Ramsey. Ramsey says, we're going to miss Morstead. How do you think it's going? How is it going to be the next punter? Well, how do I think the next punter is going to be? I say give him a chance. Give him an opportunity to go out there and see what he's got. I really don't know, you know, but I mean, we don't know what we have until we actually see it out there on the field. All I know is this guy was really successful at Penn State. He had like about 50 punts inside of the 10. So he was one of the best punters in the country when he was in college. So hopefully he can bring some of that success to the Saints organization, and, you know, we get some success. He will be missed, no doubt about that. Dad says, I'm here like always. Yeah, Dad, I appreciate you stopping by. Idris says, hey, family, who that? Hope you're having a great morning. Had a good morning so far, man. You know, got up nice and early. My wife and her have friends that flew out from New York City. They're going to be hanging out with us this weekend. You know, shouts out to them. Man, but been up since like 5 in the morning, you know, my wife and stuff like that, just trying to get everything straight. And, man, I got dropped Paxton off this morning, you know, at daycare, and I've been rolling, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been rolling, running a few errands, and now I'm here to do the State of the Saints podcast. Who that, we that, baby, New Orleans all the way. Yeah, Shelly, man, shouts out to everybody that's still in New Orleans. You know, I'm no longer a resident of New Orleans, Louisiana, but it's always in my heart. I was born and raised there. I live out in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina right now, but, you know, New Orleans is always going to be my home, no doubt about that. Will Emanuel Sanders or Janoris Jenkins become cap casualties? That would be very interesting to see. I would think more of Janoris Jenkins. Depends on who the Saints can pick up via free agency or the NFL draft. I can't see Emanuel Sanders being a cap casualty. I can't see that. I can't see him being a casualty because, you know, he played so well last season, man. And I think he didn't play as well as I don't feel like he played as well as he could because of, I'm just going to be real, the limitations of Drew Brees. There were several times where Emanuel Sanders was wide open in the middle of the field. Drew Brees can get him the ball. There's a lot of the things that Emanuel Sanders can do, like stretch the field, that he couldn't do because Drew Brees was limited. You know, like when you see, you know, people like Taysom Hill throwing the ball down the field to him and he catching everything. I mean, he was bailing Taysom Hill out, okay? Emanuel Sanders has great skills, and I'm telling you, like, dude is a baller, and I feel like he can be beneficial to this team. Janoris Jenkins, I just feel like unless he, you know, they're going to try to restructure his contract. If he don't want to do that, then he's going to have to walk, you know. But, man, my question is, you know, where can you go? Like, you know, where are you going to go where you have a huge opportunity to still be a Super Bowl contender? You know, I mean, you still got some of the same guys on the team in the secondary. If the Saints can re-sign Marcus Williams, then, I mean, you got the same guys you can roll with. So if I was him, man, I would really take that into consideration. And I understand, man, football is a business. Do what's best for you. But if I had to choose, man, I would take Emanuel Sanders back over Janoris Jenkins. I like Emanuel Sanders. Emanuel Sanders can do a lot more than what he showed last season. Coach says caught his live interview on New Orleans Saints YouTube channel yesterday. He was so emotional. It was all love. He plans to stay here as his home base, and we are so appreciative. Wish him the best. Well, I mean, you can tell like it meant a lot to him. I mean, even before I seen the video, I can tell he was emotional. Like the picture I seen with Will Lutz, I was like, man, he was crying. But man, it's amazing though, man. You look at Thomas Morstead. I can just remember because me and Thomas Morstead are the same age, and I can remember like coming out of Jackson State University, checking out the Saints NFL draft, and they drafted a punter, that was out of SMU, and I was like, man, that's pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? But just to know what this guy meant to this organization, what this organization meant to him. I mean, it just tells you it's the start of a new era, man. Now you really have a bunch of guys on the team that don't know what it feels like to be a Super Bowl champion for the New Orleans Saints. I mean, Malcolm Jenkins does. Like I said, he's been here. He was lucky, like Thomas Morstead, and they're both were rookies in the same year. They both won a Super Bowl in the same year together, along with Drew Brees. But if Drew Brees retires, like all signs are indicating, Thomas Morstead is gone. All you have is Malcolm Jenkins there to remember. So it's definitely an end of an era. No doubt about that. But you'll still be in our hearts. Yeah, definitely, man. I saw something that said we might have traded Sanders for a pick. I'm gonna have to check that out. I don't know how accurate that is. I have to see that. Hey, I was born and raised about 2 hours from New Orleans in Columbia, Mississippi, hometown of the great Walter Payton. I am also now a Myrtle Beach resident. Who that? Yeah, I remember you was telling me about that. Yeah, Piano Dean. What's the name of the restaurant that you say that you play at? I'd like to come check it out sometime. Yeah, but I mean, man, look, I was born in New Orleans. My grandparents, they were born and raised in Vicksburg, Mississippi, which is about 3.5 hours or something like that from New Orleans. I spent most of my time there. My mom still stays there. And they stay in Tallulah, Louisiana, my grandparents. My brother, EJ, he's still down there. He's on the West Bank. So, I mean, I still have family members that stay in New Orleans. But, man, that's my home right there. I grew up on Prior Street. And from Prior Street to Montague Street, that was located in the Ninth Ward. Look, I done caught the Franklin bus, the Broad bus, Legion Field bus. Yeah, I'd have had the bus tickets, RTA. I'd have been on that thing, So I'm about as New Orleans as a hot sausage on French dress, like that. I'm New Orleans like a frozen cup, knocking on somebody's door, getting a frozen cup. You know what I'm saying? I'm about as New Orleans as Frankie and Johnny Furniture. You know what I'm saying? 1825 2-lane. You know what I'm saying? I'm New Orleans up here, man. Man, if you're around mid-30s in the Saints organization, you are out of there faster than they play the ribs at a family reunion. Mario, I mean, that's the way it goes, man. Like, they're always looking for a younger breed. They're looking for younger talent. Like, when you start hitting 30, teams start to look for your replacements. I mean, it's just a fact. I mean, the NFL doesn't just stand for National Football League. It stands for not for long. So you have to make sure that you're playing at a high level. You get as much money as you can before you get up out of there. True that, real talk. Come get me from this daycare, daddy. I want to do the podcast. How you gonna play a shorty? Packy man. Yeah, man. Paxton is at daycare right now, and I'm pretty sure like he would definitely be running around this room somewhere and probably want me to pick him up. I know he usually do his occasional cameo before he goes back to watch his favorite show, Cocomelon. All right, so yes, several times he was open and Hope Drew retired. Well, yeah, there was plenty of times where he was open. Like I said, sometimes, man, guys fly under the radar because, because of the limitations. Like, I mean, I'm seeing a lot of growth out of guys I never thought that I would see, because I had opportunity to see these guys perform with other quarterbacks, like Traquan Smith. Like, notice I ain't say nothing about Traquan. Traquan was a hot topic last year, we were talking about, man, this the year for Traquan, this the year for Traquan. I mean, Traquan Smith had his best year in the Saints uniform last year. So he really stepped up. And, you know, it showed, especially when Mike T went down. Love my coach always. Idris says, but I'm wondering what one tight end for the Saints will be enough. No, you need more than one tight end. And I'm pretty sure they're going to get another one, you know. But look, you don't want to be spending an arm and a leg. If like, I feel like this, right? No need to go out here and spend a whole bunch of money for a tight end that you know that you actually have inside of your locker room already. Adam Troutman is going to be the guy. No doubt about it. Like, he is going to be the guy. It's just a matter of who is going to back him up. All right. So, like I said, get somebody like Kyle Rudolph, you know, somebody that's still out there, that's a seasoned veteran. I mean, I heard even Jimmy Graham, but to me, man, I don't think I want a Jimmy Graham. You know, I think that you need a tight end that can block and catch. Okay. I mean, Adam Troutman gives you that dynamic, but since Adam Troutman gives you that dynamic, now, you know what I'm saying, you get a guy that's blocking dominant, because that's the way Josh Hill used to roll when we had Jared Cook, right? And Benjamin Watson, you know, the guys that can block, also pass catch. You have that at Adam Troutman. So give me a guy that can block on running plays and also catch the ball in the red zone. Do you believe they really didn't have a conversation with him? Probably didn't. He probably didn't. I mean, they probably didn't have a conversation with him. They probably, you know, look, the NFL it's a tough league, folks. You know, like, it is, you know, just the way that they roll. You know, like I mean, it's jacked up as it is. I mean, it's just business. You know, guys have to be business. Sometimes teams will give you, you know, the benefit of the doubt. They'll tell you what they're going to do. And then there are other ways you find out just like everybody else. You know, I think that's what the big issue with Darren Sproles was. I think his wife got mad because they said they found out through like some type of report or something like that. The Saints didn't even tell him that he was getting traded to the Eagles. But, I mean, I think that was pretty jacked up. I'm going to be honest with that. You know, you tell a guy, you know, that you're going to do that. But anyway, yeah, but it's a cutthroat business. So wouldn't surprise me at all if they didn't tell him. It's been plenty of times Breeze seen Emanuel Sanders open down the field, just knew he couldn't get it there, so had to check it down to come out. Yeah, man, definitely. You know, like I said, when you have a guy that has a better arm, you'll see more, you know. And the thing about it is he played well this season, and, man, he was, you know, he only was catching, like, you know, post patterns and, you know, like maybe like, I don't know, like 10 and ends, and, you know, like that's basically what he was catching. And he still was out there balling. Who that nation never on vacation. That's right. That's what's up, TJ. Yeah, man. Yeah, shout out to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to people who miss you. You know, man, that's over, you know, out there in the East. Am I right? Over there by Sarah T. Reed. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to all the people that went to Reed out there. Chanel says, great. I hope they don't release Sanders. Yeah, you're right. Save that money. Absolutely. Definitely, TJ. Shouts out to Jerry Porter. OG, always here. Always representing. Rudolph still has game, and he knows how to hold on to the ball after the catch. I'd be elated if he landed him in New Orleans. That wouldn't be a surprise at all, because we all know that Mike Zimmer and Sean Payton are like really close friends. And if you look at the New Orleans Saints and you look at the Minnesota Vikings, it seems to me like they have this relationship as well, especially like when it comes to like getting Vikings players, because Latavius Murray came from the Vikings, right? You had Nick Easton, who came from the Vikings. You had, you know, I can't think, Sherles, you know what I'm saying? The cornerback, he came from the Vikings. So Adrian Peterson came from the Vikings. So it's, like, it wouldn't surprise me at all, like, if he ends up in New Orleans, because Sean Payton loves Minnesota Viking players. I'll tell you that. Saints releasing everybody. They released they released people that they feel like they need to get under the cap, and they releasing people they feel like they can replace. Saints need 2 reliable tight ends. Would have been nice to get Thaddeus Moss from LSU last year. He would have been a great pass-catching tight end. I think he's still out there. Is Thaddeus Moss, did he get picked up by a team? I know he got cut by a football team, right? He got cut by the football team. Did anybody pick him up? Anybody pick him up? So if somebody tell me if Thaddeus Moss on somebody's football team, could be a possibility if he's still out there. You think the Saints have a chance of getting Wilson? I think anything is possible. It depends on, like, if they feel like, they can make it happen. We going to sign Wilson? I mean, that would be interesting if they did. Anything's possible. By the way, TJ, we're going to miss Morstead. Morris said, thank you for all the years you gave us, Morstead, and you're always in our hearts. As a Saint, you're always welcome back. Yeah, absolutely. He's going to be in the Saints Hall of Fame. No doubt about that. You think the Saints will release Sanders? I hope not. Nah, I don't think so. Hello, family. Who that to y'all? I really honestly do not think that they're going to release him. I don't. I don't think they're going to release him at all. It would shock me if they do that. I remember that Rosenbergs, 1825, too late. U.S. New Orleans like pig feet at a gas station. Yep. All that, a beignet, I ain't talking from Cafe Du Monde. That's some tourist stuff right there. I'm talking about beignets your mama made. Your mama making beignets. Plyrines, you know what I'm saying? Not pecan candy or pralines. It was plyrines. Carrollton and Palms all day, sir. 17 Ward, baby. Yeah, man. Carrollton Avenue, man. Shouts out to all my folk out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, shouts out to the people at 17. Bucks beating Saints 38-3 next season. I don't know about that. Born and raised in New Orleans, at work in the CBD right now, Central Business District. What I'm talking about, man. Shouts out to all my 9-to-5ers out here. Shouts out to all my people behind the computer desk, listening to this right now. Appreciate that. That Kenner, bruh. Yeah, you're right. That's what I'm talking about. Man, shout out where you're from. I see a trend here. Where are my people at? Where y'all from? I'm a Ninth Ward representative, all right? 2241 Montague Street. That's where, shouts out to my grandparents, shouts out to all my people out there in the Ninth Ward, Montague and North Tonti. That's where I mostly grew up at, That's where I was at most of the time. So that's why I'm a claim. That's why I'm a claim, man. 2241 Montague Street, Montague and North Tonti. That's where I grew up at. Moss is a blocking tight end, so I think he can fit here. Yeah. Anybody found out if he got picked up by a team? Let me know. Let me know if Thaddeus Moss picked up somebody. Somebody said Frankie and Johnny. That's what I'm talking about. Frankie and Johnny's. What did it say? We're like, I would like to buy a living room set. You got any credit? No, I'm on Social Security and welfare. You got to see the special man. Let him have it with no problem. I say, who say, I say, Frankie say, I say, come on down and get your living room set and bedroom set today. See the special man. Some of y'all like, what is he talking about? TJ, do you think we will get Wilson? You think it's like getting a younger Breeze? Because ever since Legion of Boom left, he been choking to the playoffs as well. What you think, TJ? Oh, man, Alfred, that is a great question. and a great comment. That might be a comment and question of the day. No offense to anybody. All comments are great. But I got to say, I mean, not only like does he play like Drew Brees to me, I'm talking about size and stature, play, you know what I'm saying, accuracy. But this looking like the same reoccurring thing. Okay, I'm just saying. The Saints, at one time, they had a really good football team, right? Then Drew Brees got paid. Then when Drew Brees got paid, that's when the offensive line started to look like straight up slump. And that's when the Saints started missing the playoffs, even though Seattle has not missed the playoffs. And then when he gets to the playoffs, he's not playing very well. Russell Wilson looks a lot like Drew Brees, you know, good and bad. They're very identical. And it's almost like it's like Russell Wilson is reliving the career of Drew Brees. It's amazing. Like, when you think about it, both of them are like basically have gone through the same thing. You know, both of them got big paydays. The team offensively struggled because they couldn't pay certain people. In the playoffs, looking like straight slow. I mean, honestly, the defense bailed this dude out. You know, like I'm just gonna be real honey. That game where there was an NFC Championship game, they played against the Green Bay Packers. I think they played at home. Russell Wilson played horrible, like horrible. And I think the game ended up going into overtime. And I think he ended up winning something like that because he threw a pass, you know what I'm saying, for a touchdown in overtime. But he played horrible in that game. I think he had maybe like 2 or 3 interceptions. That boy looking like straight slow. But I like Russell Wilson, man. I like his passion. I like his. I just think if you put him on the right team, then he don't feel like he has to do so much. Offensively, I don't feel like they never had like the right offensive play caller because there was such a defensive dominant team. They were so focused on defense, and they really didn't take the time out to go out here and try to get players that are around him. They're starting to do it now. You know, so, but, I mean, he does remind me a lot of Drew Brees, for better or for worse. So we getting the shout-outs up in here. We got K-Sage from Algiers. What's up, TJ? Quick question, Sanchez. Go ahead and drop that question, man. Mr. Nice Guy says Kenner. We got the 7 Ward up in here. West Bank, the best bank. I'm going to have to disagree with that. West Bank, who that? The best side. I'm just kidding, man. Shout out to the West Bank. Burbank, so Cali. Shouts out to Cali, too. We got love for Cali on the State of the Saints. 8 Ward, baby. That's what I'm talking about, Joe. Uptown, 3rd Ward. Okay, representative. Nola. Gentilly all day. Man, shouts out to all my people over there on Sherman Tour Highway. 3328 Albert Street. Across from New Orleans Cold Storage. That's what I'm talking about, man. Albert Street. You know, shouts out to all my people that went to Frederick Douglass High School. That's my brother that we graduated from. Sorry, man. I mean, you know, everybody's school can't be bombed like Harvard, you know what I'm saying? But all my people that went to Frederick Douglass, man, off Albert Street, man. Shouts out to y'all. Napoleonville, New Orleans East, miss you, bound, baby. And shouts out to you. Like I said, man, Sarah T. Reed, all my people out there. I'm so New Orleans, my favorite rap group was Partners in Crime. Yeah, man, I used to like Partners in Crime, too. I wouldn't say they were my favorite rap group, though. I'm from the 9th Ward, too. North Johnson and Lazardi right down the street from North Prairie Street. Oh, yeah, North Johnson. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely know that at. You know what I'm saying? Because, I went to Lorraine Hansberry Elementary that was on Cloyd Street. Definitely know where North Johnson at. Definitely wasn't that far from Prairie Street at all. What, next block? What is your favorite non-NFC South rival with the Saints? Examples are Minnesota, Dallas, or the 49ers. I say the Cowboys. I like when they play the Cowboys because I like talking trash with the Cowboys. 49ers, I hate when the Saints play the 49ers. I do. Every time the Saints play the 49ers, something bad happens. Like, we always end up losing a key player. I hate when they do that. Lost Drew Brees last year. You know what I'm saying? He tore up. He messed everything up he had. The year before that, Jared Cook, had that, had that concussion. He got knocked out the game, had 2 receptions, 2 touchdowns, out there killing. No answer for the man. But I have to say the Cowboys. Ninth Ward for life, GW Carver, 88. That's what I'm talking about, man. Shouts out to my Carver Ram right there. Joe said LOL, laughing. I guess this is the part where I must have been talking about Frankie and Johnny. What up, TJ? Who that? See the special man. Let him have it. With no problem. Kansas City and New Orleans, man. Shouts out to you. Moss still a free agent. Well, call him up. There you go. There we go. That's somebody you can hit up on a reasonable deal right there. Russell Wilson is Drew Brees, but a stronger arm and mobility. I agree with that. Brees may be a tad cockier than Russ. I think they both have egos, if you ask me. Yep. Great question. TJ, did you hear that Dak Prescott actually wants to leave Dallas? He does not want another contract. Well, I don't know how accurate that is, Ramsey. I don't think he wants to leave. I would be surprised if he ended up leaving. Like I said on the last show, Jerry Jones cares a lot about what people think about the Cowboys and him. And the last image that you seen was your quarterback giving his all, and he dislocated his ankle on national television, and then you just kick him out the door. It just makes you seem like you're just a bigger jerk on this side of Mississippi. So I really don't think that he wants that type of image of himself to be out there. So I would be highly, 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 highly surprised if they get rid of him. Moss is listed on the Washington football team roster on their website. Not sure how updated they updated their site. If he is available, I say bring him in. Give me a minute. Give me a minute, folks. I'm gonna look this up. I'm trying to see if he's on the roster. Then I'm pretty sure he's still there. Okay, yeah. So he still play for them. He's number 46 for the Washington football team. I just looked it up. Okay. He was waived with an injury, and he was injured, and they released him on August 21st, 2020, and they reverted him back to injury reserve. So he's still on the team. They just put him on injury reserve. He got cut, and then they brought him back. I'm from upstate New York. My dad was an assistant college football coach, and when I was little, he told me to pick my favorite NFL team. Been a Saints fan ever since. Well, from Shadell, you from upstate New York. I got to ask you this, though. So you never thought about being a Jets or a Giants fan, or did you root for those guys at any time? That's pretty dope, man. Like when you know people that's from places so far away from your hometown team, and then they end up becoming fans. I'm always intrigued, how did they become fans? I ain't talking about them people from New Orleans that's Cowboy fans. They ought to be ashamed of themselves, for real. You ought to be. If you from the New Orleans area and you're a Cowboy fan, you ought to be ashamed of yourself, because you're just basically a grandstander. Because pretty sure you became a Cowboy fan during the time when it was really successful and it was winning. Grandstanders. Breeze more accurate than throwing, but Russ can get the ball out quicker with much more velocity. Yeah, he got the best deep ball in the business. He got the most accurate deep ball I've ever seen. Such amazing touch. He threw a pass. I want to say they were playing against the Buffalo Bills. My goodness. That was a beauty. I'm gonna pull that up, and I'm gonna put it on the State of the Saints podcast Facebook page so y'all can check it out. Somebody said Uptown at Chanel. I'm feeling that Chanel. West Bank, Stank Bank. Tyrese from the 3rd Ward, Magnolia. Okay, we got Natchitoches, Louisiana up in here. We got Russell been better than Breeze since his 3rd season in the league. I don't agree with that. It took a while for Russell Wilson to be mentioned in the upper echelon, so I won't say in his 3rd year, but I'll say the last few years he's been coming on. Maybe our new cornerback Coach will talk Peyton into going after Wilson, being he was there when the Legion of Boom was in full effect. I don't know if he'll have any type of say-so about that. I mean, I'm pretty sure if they ask him type of player or person he is, you can give him like some feedback. But as far as him walking into the coach's room, like, man, y'all need to get him. I don't think that's going to happen. How would you feel about Jamie Newman in the second round if he's there? Yeah, I like Jamie Newman, man. He decided to sit out this past college football season. He was supposed to go to Georgia. He was supposed to be the quarterback for them. COVID-19 hit. He decided to not play. He played a couple years at Wake Forest, and he put up some good numbers. And I like the fact that this kid is sure of himself. He's a little rusty. You know, I think he needs some maybe like a year. Or maybe, you know, if things not going good, you put him in mid-season, I think he'll be able to rise to the occasion. But I wouldn't mind having him on the team. I wouldn't. Night Ward, salute to Mr. Magic. From Homer, but live in Lake Charles. Man, shouts out to Homer out there. TJ, the Saints have a virtual meeting with Auburn wide receiver Anthony Swartz. He has a deep speed and can take the top off the defense. Any chance we draft a wide receiver in the mid-rounds? Absolutely. I said this on the last show. Deontay Harris, how good he is, but the thing about it is he's so small. I mean, what are you, about 5'7", 5'8", 170 pounds? You know, I mean, when you're that small, you've got talent, and you definitely a lightning bug, but, man, you got these big, huge guys, you know what I'm saying, tackling you. I mean, I don't know if he's going to always be in a lineup, you know, so you definitely going to need somebody with some size, you know, somebody that can take the top off the defense but has a little size on him. Somebody that's probably like around 200, 210 that can, you know, get behind the defense, you know, so he can be durable. One of the best punters ever. Yeah, he definitely is. Very, very underrated, you know, very underrated. Agree, TJ. Every time we play with the 49ers, something happened. Yep. The 49ers played the Saints dirty. Didn't we? We was playing the 49ers when Pierre Thomas got knocked out. Exactly. Non-rival to me, Vikings, 49ers, Cowboys, and Rams. I mean, yeah, you know. Yeah, I look at the Dallas Cowboys more of a rival, though. Because I just think I just look at it like they're a neighboring state, right? You know what I'm saying? Texas, Louisiana, they're right next to each other. And, you know, I mean, you got that. And if you look at it from a geographical standpoint, they're supposed to be in the same division. But we all know that the NFC East is the money division. Their division with the big-time media markets, and they decide to put all those guys together, which makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Dallas down here in the South. Then you got Philly, New York, and Washington on the East Coast. Like, Dallas definitely needs to be in the AFC South or the NFC South. But, of course, they're the Cowboys, so they get that big-time treatment. We that Who That Nation, thank you very much for the $5. Says, Who That TJ, do you think they're going to restructure Andrews Pete's contract? They should. They should if they smart. And what are you going to do? Y'all restructure my deal, then I'm going to walk. Bye-bye. You know what I'm saying? Like, get up out of here. Man, Chanel, thank you very much for $4.99. She says, never rooted for a New York team. I just liked the Saints as a kid. I didn't care that the team was trash back then. I was too young. Well, Chanel, thank you so much for the $4.99. But, yeah, man, look, if you've been rolling with the Saints, and you like in your, in your 30s or 40s, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I even say, like, late 20s, early 30s. Bro, you had to be a fan. You had to be a fan to root for them boys because they were not very good. And you talking about, like, man, just tear your heart out. Just rip it out for the whole entire world to see every single week. I wouldn't mind Dak playing for the Saints. He is a Louisiana boy. Yeah, but Dak wants too much money. Less restructured contract means We using him next year. What you think? Those 2 missed field goals cost us that Eagles game. Well, he better play better, or he not gonna make it to next year. He might get cut in the middle of the season. She's a true who that right there. Yeah, straight up. That's what happened with me. New Orleans is literally 1,000 miles from where I grew up. Yet here I am repping who that. Yeah, Josh. I mean, look. I mean, it just. I don't know, man. New Orleans is New Orleans, man. We just like the way that the Saints play is how New Orleans is. Like we're us against the world type city. Like anybody from New Orleans, you understand what I'm talking about. Like we don't care where you from. We don't care, we don't care about any of that stuff. Like it takes a lot. Like some people like wonder, like, man, how can somebody like Alvin Kamara roll around the city and nobody say nothing to him? How can Teddy Bridgewater, when he was here, just ride a bike, go to the Ninth Ward and play in a pickup game? It's because, like, man, it take a lot to impress a person from New Orleans. Like, we just different, man. Like, and people like, man, how can you boo somebody that gave everything that you had? Like somebody like Anthony Davis, right? Like, if you show yourself unloyal to New Orleans, it'll never be the same. They'll never show you loyalty. But if you do something for somebody in New Orleans, we'll never forget. Like, that's the reason why if Reggie Bush, like, come to New Orleans and, do something with Fox Sports or whatever, like people yelling and screaming out their window, cheering his name. You know what I'm saying? He can't even get through the interview. Like, because people are forever grateful for what he did in that game versus the Arizona Cardinals in the divisional round. Like, if we love you, we love you. If we don't, we ain't rolling with you. You know what I'm saying? We ain't feeling you. like that's just the way it is, man. We are loyal people. Like, we loyal. But if you don't show loyalty back, or we see some some loose armor, we ain't messing with you. Anybody from New Orleans, y'all know what I'm talking about. That's just the way that it is. Like, we don't care. Like, you can be the biggest star in the world, man. Like how can somebody like Beyonce just walk up into, a seafood place, and get a hot sausage sandwich, nobody say nothing to it. Man, we just leave people alone. You know what I'm saying? We show love. But you gotta show love back, or we'll never show you that no type of love ever again. Then they gotta move the coast from the South one day, do a realignment. Yeah, they definitely do, man. It just don't make no sense. They wanna, in some ways, they wanna keep the nostalgia, right? They wanna keep those nostalgic games, right? You wanna keep the Eagles and the Cowboy rivalry. You want to keep the Cowboys and the Giants rivalry, right? But, but it really don't make no sense. You make it in New Orleans, you can make it anywhere. Demario Davis is my favorite Saint of all time. How can you not like him? He definitely is a likable guy. I wouldn't say he's my favorite Saint of all time because, he hasn't really been with the Saints for a long period of time. He's a good human being. Like, you can't fake that. You can't fake the type of person he is. My favorite Saint of all time, is Drew Brees. I would say that, but I'll have to say if somebody else, it'll probably be Pierre Thomas. Pierre Thomas is one of my favorite Saints of all time. Only prince that Michael Jackson could ever make New Orleans people look twice. Yeah, I remember, man. Like, I'm telling you. It's so low key, right? I'm telling you, like, some of y'all probably, know who this is. Marissa Tomei, you know what I'm saying? If you've seen the movie My Cousin Vinny, or you seen like the early episodes of A Different World, you know what I'm saying? She was on there. I was like, this is no lie. I was riding through my old neighborhood and I turned the corner and lo and behold, walking into a house with sunglasses on was Marissa Tomei. Like, no lies. Like, I guess she must have bought a house down there, you know what I'm saying? Pretty low key, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, man, that's Marissa Tomei. And she like next door to just, you know what I'm saying? Just some, everyday people. Like, And I'm pretty sure they know who Marissa Tomei is, but they leave her alone. You know, like that's just the way New Orleans people are, man. Like it takes a lot to impress us. And like I said, we just mind our own business. And that's why like, you know, you had people like, you know, Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie, they stayed down here. Like, man, it was all up and through the Garden District. Ain't nobody bother them. Yeah, that's true, man. All love. Reggie balled out and left on great terms. Yep. Now the starstruck city. Not at all. Not at all. I think Drew should retire. Oh, man. Y'all boys ain't going to let Drew go, man. Y'all, until you say I'm retired, y'all like, please. Please retire. Okay. Chanel said, Jerry, it's funny to think about. I picked the Saints for such a silly reason at 5 or 6 years old, but I'm glad I get to be a part of the Who Dat Nation. Yeah, we glad to have you. And all the members of the Who Dat Nation, man. Shouts out to Chanel out there representing upstate New York. Deuce get loose. Buford Joy. Ooh. Bringing us back with that one. Spider-Man, if people don't know. Exactly. That's another one. Y'all acting like Jared Cook ain't mossed a couple people in a Saints uniform. They doing him bad on Facebook. Yeah, that's true. I don't like the Jared Cook slander. I look, if you're happy he gone, okay, that's fine. All right. Let me get a drink of water. If you're glad that he's going, I understand, right? I mean, look, you're ticked off. He holds on to the ball. Who knows what would have happened? But I'm not going to sit up here and just say that the guy was just slow. I mean, he made some good plays, man. And I don't know, man. He just, like, to me, he reminded me of Shannon Sharp, right? I mean, when he was like, I'm talking about when he was balling, he reminds me of Shannon Sharp. And anybody that watched Shannon Sharp, like, throughout the years, like, you know Shannon Sharp would just go quiet, you know what I'm saying? Don't make no plays. Then all of a sudden he come making plays by the bundle. Then he come, you know what I'm saying? Then you won't hear from him for a while. Then he'll make some more plays. He reminds me a lot of Shannon Sharp. You know what I'm saying? Not like early Shannon Sharp, but like Shannon Sharp, like middle of his career. Like when you need, you know what I'm saying, like a touchdown pass or something like that, he was there. I got love for Jared Cook, man. I've been watching Jared Cook since he came into the league. He's definitely been really good, man. Get Prime Video and you can watch Coming to America. Yeah, I already have Prime Video. Haven't watched it. Could have watched it, but I'm pretty sure my wife and her friend, her husband, we probably watch it, together or whatever. So I didn't want to go ahead and watch it. Probably be something we can do as a movie night or something. So I remember when I saw you, I was starstruck. I was like, dang, it's DJ Jones, the host. I can't believe it. Marissa told me I highly doubt that. Someone that has won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor in a movie, My Cousin Vinny, I would highly doubt that Marissa Tomei would be starstruck by me. I would highly doubt that. But, I mean, I was shocked. I mean, because I couldn't believe it because where I was. I'm like, what the heck is Marissa Tomei? Like, she got – I want to make sure I'm saying the story clear. I was driving, and I think she might have had she had her sunglasses off. And then I think when I looked twice, you know what I'm saying? Because I couldn't believe, like, what's she doing around here? She put her sunglasses on and went into the house. So I'm like, yeah, but I seen her face as clear as day. That definitely was Marissa Tomei. There's not a doubt in my mind that there wasn't. Let's get Wilson this year, first next year, first in 2023, second pick, also Armstead. That would be nothing to give up for an elite quarterback for the next 10 plus years. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess so. I mean, I heard somebody say the Saints gave up 2 first-round picks for Marcus Davenport, so why not? I guess you're right, though. I guess you're right. If you give up 2 ones for Davenport, why not give up 2 ones for Russell Wilson? Please keep Quan, man. I like him. He can easily be a top 10 linebacker in the league. He got to restructure that deal. But the Saints can't cut him because he has an injury anyway. So they gotta figure something out. He got to stay on the books until he gets healthy. Still have my 1980 bag, 1-15. What do you think about the African-American girl that's in the NFL now refereeing? Well, first off, I think that's a good look. I think that's a good look for African-Americans, but also women in general. You know what I'm saying? It just shows that women are making strides. And this is by no means where we should be. You know what I'm saying? They still have a lot more room for improvement. But I do like the fact that the NFL beat it. I mean, I really don't trust the NFL for a lot of things that they do for PR. But in the process, you know what I'm saying, this is a start. And hopefully this can be a trend where we see, more women referees in the National Football League, more women coaches. And we'll see, man. But that's a good look, you know what I'm saying? Not just, just African Americans, in general. It's just, for women, women everywhere. That gives hope, she represents hope, that there's, more women that are going to come along and be a part of this process. So, yeah. Watch the Temptations Sunday night and laugh thinking about TJ's impressions. Yeah, man, that was my movie right there, man. Chemo Slice said, "That's what's up, Dre." Corey says, "Well, TJ, you heard the rumors of OBJ wanting to come to play. Well, he gonna have to take a significant pay cut. He may want to play, but can we afford him? Nah." CT, thank you very much for the $2. Says, "Do you think Cook will land the team?" Of course. Yeah, man, that guy gonna get picked up. Yeah, definitely. He definitely. Probably Minnesota or New England, one or the other. Well, imagine working in a house, turning around and seeing Master P behind you and things you see in the city. Yeah, I mean, like I said, man, people just walk around nonchalantly out there because, like I said, people leave them alone. It's almost to a point when a celebrity walks out there and somebody like stops them and like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? Like they shot, you know what I'm saying? Like they just be chilling. So first round pick is nothing when you are picking 28. That's like a second round pick. Exactly, Corey. I've said that on several occasions. You win, you know what I'm saying? You making the playoffs and you giving up first round picks. I mean, it's more like a early second rounder. We making strides. Women, thank you very much for the $2. Yeah, man. I mean, they definitely need some more. They definitely have some more work to do. For equality in women. We definitely need some. We need some work in that regard, man. There's no reason why a woman is doing the same job as a man and not making the same amount of pay. And, the days where, guys talking about women belong in the kitchen in the Elijah room, barefoot and pregnant, those days are over. We know some of the strongest people in the world are women. I was raised by a woman, single parent. My father was not in my life. Okay. I'm saying? I met my dad for the first time when I was 23 years old. All right. My mom was the mother and father in my household. And she raised me, my two brothers, and my sister. And she led with iron fist. So I know what women are capable of. You know what I'm saying? I know women can be breadwinners. I know that what they deserve. And I know they can do some of the things that men can do. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just the way that it is. And anybody just had that mind frame, man, that think that they can't, might need to check yourself, man. Women are some of the strongest people in the world. I mean, look, a woman pushes an 8 or 9 pound baby, you know what I'm saying, out of her. Like it don't get no stronger than that. You know what I'm saying? So shouts out to all the women out there, man, that's going hard, the ones that out here that are fighting for equality for women. And man, shouts out to all, the wonderful women out there, the wives, the mothers, the sisters, the cousins. Shouts out to all y'all, man. We need y'all. Real Deal says, yeah, you think Cook will land the team? The question is, can he hold on to it? Get it? Football problems. Yeah, man. Look, I mean, he just had a bad year, man. But He gonna land somewhere. 5 heartbeats. You guys can't hang with old Eddie. You sure y'all can roll with old Eddie Kane? Nights like this, I wish that raindrops would fall. Man, Mickey Loomis fire with them numbers. I'm not worried about the cap space. Yeah, Corey, I'm not either. Nights like this, I wish that raindrops would fall. And when he took that jacket off, he took that trench coat on, and that Rob Stone outfit on. Oh my God. Oh man. TJ scared Bucks offseason could be in trouble just like Saints. I think you'll be all right. As long as y'all got number 12 in the referees. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. Been dancing for them since and DJ and Big Timeless, all the oldies. And I want to give a shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Benson who helped me not only succeed in life, but taught me the values of life. Yeah. Man, shouts out to Ty Bishop. Behind the team, keeping the team here. Rest in peace. Shouts out to Gail Benson for getting out the way, not being a Jerry Jones type owner. And man, I love New Orleans, man. Everything about it. The celebrity mystique has died down considerably since everyone is a celebrity anytime they want to be on YouTube. It was different when you can only see a handful of people on the screen. That is true, man. That is true. I just think that the power of social media, I agree with what you're saying, because now you have the social media. You can follow your favorite celebrity and, see what they're doing. And it brings the world like really, really close, and social media is a blessing and a curse to me. It's a blessing because it gives you a platform to run your business, to show your talent. You don't have to be tied down to a record deal or have to roll up to somebody's radio station or something like that. Like, you can create your own platform. You can create your own movies. You can be your own writer. But it has made us, it has affected us socially. Like, guys don't know how to go up to girls no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have that type of confidence. And that's what kind of scares me about this new generation. You have guys like that like girls, and you go up to, like they basically hit her up in the DMs. Like, I like you, I seen you at school, blah, 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 blah. All right. But when I was growing up, we ain't had social media, right? If you like the girl, you had to walk up there and you had to go talk to her. You had to say, like, hey, I like you, or, if you want to, do what they do. The first DMs was the do you like me? Check yes, check no, check maybe. But at the same time, more times than not, in order for you to get that phone number, you had to go up to the girl and she had to write it down and give it to you. And you felt great. You know what I'm saying? Like, it built your confidence. Now it's like you hit a girl up in the DM, she don't respond. Oh well, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, she didn't see it, or so it gives you this false sense of, false sense of reality. And I feel like that's something that's missing. But back to the celebrities, yeah, it makes them lose their mystique because, man, you see what they're doing. And because of that, when you see them, it's like, I already know what they're doing, I already know what they're up to. Here first, women, female reps today, TJ. Amen. Shout out to your mother. Same situation. Thank God I had parents, but it was hard being a single mother. Shouts out to your mama. Yeah, man. My mom is an amazing woman. Y'all see her in the chat. She's an amazing woman. She raised all of us, man, like by herself. I'll never forget, like when I graduated from college, they threw me this party. And I remember, like, everybody kind of stood up and said nice things about me. And she, like, she told me, like, when I get emotional just thinking about this. when I was a kid, and my brothers and sisters, like she was afraid, like she was scared. And that's the reason why, she made some of the decisions that she made. Like, man, my mom didn't really let us go outside. Like, really didn't let us play with too many people, stuff like that. You had to basically sneak outside. But she said she did that to try to protect us, and when she told me that she was scared, I was like, man, that was a shock to me, because it seemed like she was never afraid. I only maybe seen my mom cry a handful of times, right? I mean, I can probably count on one hand. One of the strongest people I ever see. But to know that she was afraid, she showed and act like it. But she's one of the strongest people that I know, and one of the most inspirational people that I know. Anytime like I'm going through an issue or a problem, I can call her. She knows exactly what to say. And man, I'm blessed to have somebody like that in my life. Like I said, just telling that story, man, makes me a little emotional. The fact that, she had tears in her eyes talking about how afraid she was. And, she did that to protect us. And, she's proud, everything that I'm doing. And, man, when your mom says something like that, like, it means a lot to you. I guarantee when I get off this podcast, 3 people will be trying to holler. So before you try, don't even message me. Yeah, the DMs is getting ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, look, what's wrong with walking up to a woman? What's wrong with that? Like, look, I just feel like that's becoming a lost art in this shit. Now, I get it, right? You know what I'm saying? I get that there are, times where if you use like a dating app or something like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, that happens. But what's wrong, like, if you see somebody, let's just say you're at the store, or, you're around the way and you see a woman that you like, like why not walk up to them, and introduce yourself? Just call me old fashioned. Where y'all at? Bishop Bullwinkle. Where y'all at? Where Bishop at?
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the
no. My daughter goes to college this year, and I thank God for my father, who can help me help her have a beautiful graduation year. Shout out to my daughter, Alice. Shouts out to her. Congratulations to her on her way to college. You have a strong mama, TJ. Thank God for her. What an amazing woman. Yeah, she definitely is. Definitely is. My mom is a really wonderful person. I'm telling y'all, like, if I was to do like a podcast and I was to interview my mom, I'm telling y'all, like, it'll probably be one of the most wise podcasts I've done. She's such an inspirational person. Man, if Drew Brees come back, I'm watching the Oh man, the crazy thing about that, Corey. I'm pretty sure some other people feel the same way you do, man. That's the crazy thing. But Jerry Porter Jr., who would be the replacement for Brees if he retires? Whoever they bring in. I mean, the guy's gonna have to retire sometime. He's gonna have to retire sometime. That's what we gotta understand. He's gonna have to retire. We can't keep on, digging in the crates year after year, man, and just draining every bit of talent this dude have. Like I said, man, like the only thing that Drew Brees can do, that can salvage him is win a Super Bowl. If you can't guarantee that Drew Brees gonna win a Super Bowl, do not come back. And you can't guarantee that. If they go to the playoffs and lose again, that is only just destroying his legacy. That the only thing that can save Drew Brees is a Super Bowl. That's it. Super Bowl, that's it. That's all that can save him. Sounds like a great mom. I got hurt at 19, kind of destroyed my life. But at the same sense, I thank God for my parents helping me. My mom is a savior. God bless you and your family. Just women like your mom who help the younger people like me get through it. Yeah, man, everybody like go through like hard times. All us, go through trials and tribulations, but like man, they make us stronger, in the process. Like I'm pretty sure a lot of people can attest to this. Like made a lot of mistakes in their lives, and those mistakes molded them and shaped them to be better people, to be better parents, to be better men, women. I know like the situations I've been through in my life, they made me better, and they prepared me for the future that I had, like having a son and trying to, and having a wife, it helps you. Do you think whatever get a female quarterback in NFL, in your opinion? Anything's possible, man. Anything's possible, but I'm afraid, man. I'm afraid that, might get blacklisted, like kind of like Michael Sam did. Like Michael Sam deserves to be in the National Football League. I mean, I'm just being serious. Like, I ain't trying to be on no political stuff. The guy deserves to be in the National Football League. This guy was the co-SEC Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. Like you're a co-Defensive Player of the Year in the SEC, and you're telling me that you can't play in the National Football League. I fail to believe it. But I just think that the fact that he was gay and the fact that he wasn't really performing well in the National Football League, it made the decision easier. But I've seen people that just straight up hot garbage and slow still find their way on somebody's roster. So, but that's just the way they do it. They make it seem like, the person can't play, or they might show they bad film or something like that. But the guy deserves to be there. And I feel like it would be the same thing with a woman. I mean, she'll have to be out there just doing something just straight up spectacular. Like she got to be the second coming to Patrick Mahomes almost in order for her to get that shot a fair shake, in my opinion. But if she just like an average quarterback, they're going to find every reason not to keep her there. I think we should trade Cam Jordan, keep Trey Hendrickson. I disagree with that. If Drew Brees said he wanted to come back, we can't stop him. It's just like you said, TJ, if you said today you were quitting your podcast, we could try to beg you not to leave, but that's your decision. Yeah, I mean, that's true, Brian, but look, I don't think that they want Drew Brees to come back. That's just me. I feel like all this stuff is lip service because they know he not. And they're just saying, oh, yeah, we're glad to have him back. We'll be hearing something from him soon. They don't want him to come back. They know they don't want him to come back. They're ready to move on. And I'm pretty sure Drew already told them that he was going to move on. But if Drew decides to come back, it's going to make the Saints look like bad guys because I'm pretty sure they're not going to want him to come back. I'm just being serious, man. Like, at this particular point, you want Drew Brees to come back for nostalgia. Look, everybody out here, like everybody that is telling me about Drew Brees coming back, it has nothing to do with his play. It has everything to do with, like who was winning games before Drew, or how successful were the Saints before Drew Brees got here, or what, like who won more games? Like all that stuff is nostalgia. All that stuff is nostalgia. Everybody that wants Drew Brees to come back, is nostalgia. Like if you're being real with yourself, if you're being legit, and you're judging Drew Brees based on his play, you know that it's time to hang it up, right? And I get it, man. Like I said, it's like that reliable vehicle that you had. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard to let that thing go. Drew Brees has been reliable. He's been the one constant in Saints football that you can count on. Like wide receivers have been down, offensive line have been down, secondary has been down, running backs have been down. Drew Brees has been the one constant that the Saints has always had, and that's what people are holding on to. But when you start talking about what he did last year, 2 years ago, 10 years ago, I think it's time to move on. You know, you can't say on one hand, or I'll bring up an argument about Jared Cook, and you'll say, well, what have you done for me lately? And you can't use that same logic with Drew Brees. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, well, Drew Brees, he led the team and this, that, and the third. But I'm like, Jared Cook had a pretty good season with the Saints. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, why you can't move the goalposts, okay? You can't say on one hand, what have you done for me lately? And want to apply that to Jared Cook, but don't want to apply it to Drew Brees. What has Drew Brees done for us lately? You know what I'm saying? Like, what has he done? Like, bro, I challenge anybody. I challenge anybody to go back and tell me, when was Drew Brees the best quarterback on the field in the playoffs? When was the last time Drew Brees was the best quarterback on the field in the playoffs? Because look, Drew Brees is way beyond the regular season, okay? He's an elite, all-time great quarterback. And when you're an elite, all-time great quarterback, you're not judged by regular season accolades. Those are for the Tony Romos and the Dak Prescotts of the world. You know what I'm saying? Guys that put up big numbers in the regular season, but in the postseason, they ain't doing nothing. Drew Brees has moved to an all-time great status. So when you go all-time great, nobody cares about the regular season. Nobody cares about how many touchdowns and yards that you threw in the regular season. What have you done in the postseason when you're going up against some of these great teams, the great defenses? What have you done? People can say, well, Drew Brees, if it wasn't for Jared Cook, this, that, and the third. But I'm like, look, check this out. Minnesota Vikings game, people can talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Drew Brees threw that fade pass in the back of the end zone to Alvin Kamara to give them the go-ahead lead. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can talk about those type of things, but then you have to ask yourself, why were the Saints in that position in the first place? Because Drew Brees threw 2 interceptions in that game. Like, we have to understand, like, what happened with the 58-yard field goal that Greg Zuerlein kicked the Center Rams into the Super Bowl? Drew Brees threw an interception. You know, like, on first, like, led up to the Tommy Lee Lewis play. First down, the Saints decided to throw the football. Drew Brees had a quick slant to Michael Thomas. He threw it at Michael Thomas's feet. If Michael Thomas catch that football, the clock is still running, or the Saints could, you know what I'm saying, get a first down, possibly seal the deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, the play that led to the two, you know what I'm saying, the goal line stance was a heave play. Drew Brees just threw that pass up there, and Ted Ginn caught it going into the 2-minute warning. But, I mean, we have to be real with ourselves. And I love Drew, but we got to be realistic. If the only thing that you're coming up with is what he did back in 2009, it's time to move on. All right. What have you done for me lately, man? I'm just saying, what has he done? What has he done for us to just constantly say, oh man, we need Drew back? The only thing, like I said, that response is out of fear. You're scared. You're scared of life after Drew Brees. Because you don't know what it looked like. Because he, once again, is the one constant. It's up to Drew if he wants to come back, but hopefully it's not in the black and gold. It's not. I'm telling you, man, like they do not want this guy to come back. They don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to make tough decisions. And I don't feel bad for saying this because all of the great quarterbacks who played with these teams for long periods of time, then end up playing for that team for the rest of their career. Even a guy that won a Super Bowl in Tom Brady. This man brought 6 Super Bowls to New England, and they let him go. You know what I'm saying? Peyton Manning brought a Super Bowl to Indianapolis, and they let him go. Joe Montana brought 4 Super Bowls to the 49ers, and they let him go. Like, so what makes Drew Brees any different from any one of those guys? I mean, I'm just saying, man, like, it's not a knock on him because, like I said, he going to the Hall of Fame regardless. But you gotta, my dude, like, man, you know, like, man, it's about that time, man. They need to do Brees like Dukes. If the Saints make it to the Super Bowl, they need to let him suit up. I mean, yeah. Why not? But Don says Drew needs to go take a nap. Man, shouts out to my guy Don, man. What's going on, Don? I think that's my homeboy from high school, man. Shouts out to Don, man. Appreciate you being a part of the show, my brother. Let's see. Joe, 2009 to 2014. Yep, I have to agree with you. Last time he played some lights out football. Drew better be in a boot with a mic like Lil Wayne. For real. Hey man, but look, let's stop right here. You know what I'm saying? Because I gotta talk about Marcus Williams. I haven't brought him up. The Saints are trying to make it a priority to bring back Marcus Williams and get him re-signed. Now, I think that this is a good move. I know some people don't like Marcus Williams for some apparent reason. I really don't know why. I mean, the guy's gotten better every year he's been in the league. This year, he has become a better tackler. He's a little bit more of an enforcer at the safety position. He's a ball hawk. And I just think if you're holding on to 2017, then you're doing yourself a disservice. And I like the way that he played. And at the beginning of the season, I really thought that the Saints weren't going to bring him back. I thought he'll be playing for a bigger contract. But he really stepped up. Like, he really stepped up, and he really performed really well to a point where I can say that I would love to have him back. If you're choosing between he and Trey Hendrickson, I would have to go with Marcus Williams. You know, I'm always skeptical about guys that give me 1 year production because I'm wondering to myself, what happened all those other years? And these guys came into the league at the exact same time. They were drafted in the exact same year. I think if I'm not mistaken, Trey Hendrickson was a 3rd round pick. Marcus Williams was a 2nd round pick. So when you look at it, you know, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, man, I'd rather have Marcus Williams over Trey Hendrickson because Marcus Williams has been in the secondary and has gotten better every single year. And I think that the Saints need to make this guy a priority because it can help them in the long run. You know, like I really do. You know, I think that he's a good, solid safety. And I think he's going to give you some really good production. So I think that's a good move if you can get him re-signed again. That would be very, very smart by the New Orleans Saints. 2018 NFC Championship game, Breeze was better than Goff, but other than that, he struggled in the postseason. That's not saying much. And those numbers in that NFC Championship game was very misleading. If you look at like the yards that he threw, like it would be a pass to Alvin Kamara, and Alvin Kamara will run it and gain about 40 yards. Or he'll throw the ball to, Michael Thomas didn't really do too much in that game. But, if he'll throw the pass, to another receiver and they'll gain a couple yards. A lot of this stuff was like yards after the catch, right? I mean, but you can't give him credit because he was the one that, got him the ball. But I wouldn't call it a lights out performance. I would say, there's a lights out performance, but we also have to understand we're talking about Drew Brees here. A lights out performance to Drew Brees is different than a lights out performance for Jacoby Brissett, right? The numbers that Drew Brees put up in the NFC Championship game, that's lights out if you Jacoby Brissett. If you're Drew Brees, that's not. It's not. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not. And we know that he can play better. We know he can play better, but But if you want to come in 2018, but to me, I've seen better, But if we're talking about, I guess, like in that sense, what the question I asked, when was he the best quarterback on the field, or would he put on a lights out performance? I guess that falls into that realm, so I give you that. But I mean, I've seen Drew Brees play better. Perfect execution, the way you said it, TJ. I'm so serious about this. Don't want to see Drew under center. I just don't either. I just don't know what he would have to prove. Yep, if he completed that slant, we'll win the Rams game. I could tell you he never had a losing season. Are we talking about Russell Wilson? Or are we talking about Drew Brees? Because Drew Brees has had some losing seasons. Saints have been 7-9 a couple times. But if you're talking about Russell Wilson, if he wants to come back, treat him like anybody else, make him earn the starting job in camp. Inevitable, look. He is going to earn a starting job in camp, all right? Like, if the one knock on him, if he can't throw the ball past 20 yards, but he throwing the ball and delivering it on time, and the passes are like right there. Of course he's gonna be better and head and shoulders better than anybody else. Like I said, I think that it's time to move on. I do. I just think that it's time to move on. I don't want this to be like a reoccurring thing, I can't give him a total pass, but he did have a lot of injuries. I think we will be able to open up the playbook with Jameis or Russ. Look, he did have a lot of injuries, but then you have to ask yourself, what the hell was he playing for anyway? Right? If you know that your injuries are limiting you and you're not playing to the best of your ability, then have faith in your teammates that they can get the job done. I say, anybody that don't think that Drew Brees has an ego, I would refer you to the Kansas City Chiefs game when he knew most likely this was his last season and he wanted to go head-to-head with Patrick Mahomes. Drew Brees had no business playing in that game, right? You have 11 fractured ribs, you got a collapsed lung, and, you're trying to beat a deadline. Nah, man. If you had all that stuff going on, your wife comes out there and saying that, in a way, yeah, if you want to say, oh, that's so heroic, that he would do that, that's fine, all right? But at the same time, there's a little selfishness in that dynamic because you can't tell me that if the Saints could have had Jameis Winston in the lineup, that Jameis Winston couldn't have done a more formidable job than Drew Brees being injured. I feel like when you're doing stuff like that, you're starting to think about you and you're starting to think about your legacy. And who's to say if, and I don't know, man, maybe I'm just being devil's advocate here. What if, he looked at maybe the Philadelphia Eagles situation, right, with Carson Wentz, right? And Carson Wentz gets hurt and Nick Foles comes in. Nick Foles plays the rest of the season, leads the Eagles to the Super Bowl, and they win, and he's Super Bowl MVP. Carson Wentz has a Super Bowl ring, but nobody talks about that. Or nobody talks about how well Carson Wentz played, and up to that game against the Rams, he was up for league MVP. He was the front runner, but nobody talks about that. So what if Drew Brees ends up getting hurt? Let's say Jameis Winston comes in, plays really well, Saints end up going to the Super Bowl, and they win. You know what I'm saying? Then what happens? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's his legacy saying then? And I just feel like when you start thinking or looking at stuff like that or thinking about me playing against this person when I know I'm hurt, like, and then on top of that, you had all these other injuries that was limiting you. If you should have played, you shouldn't have played. You know what I'm saying? Like, you in a way you get some strife for it, but in a way that's kind of selfish. TJ, my State of David Ruffin podcast is up to 4 subscribers now. Hope you're not jealous. The State of David Ruffin, nah, not at all. Ghostface Gorilla, thank you very much for the $5. Because there's only one David Ruffin now. I hope you know that. And without him, you just a podcast in search of a David Ruffin. Let's see. I think I already read that. But I don't understand. It's like Breeze never threw it away, so that clock would stop running. Breeze never threw it away, so the clock stopped. I don't know exactly what you meant by that one. I'm sorry. And that was if he wants to come back. Okay, I already read that. Let me scroll down. I had to go back. Drew Brees got a lot left. He's going to win another Super Bowl just like Tom Brady. Man, Drew ain't got nearly as much as to what Tom Brady got left. Like I'm telling you, man, Drew Brees right now, to me, I mean, he on borrowed time. Everything that I've seen tells me that Drew Brees cannot sustain the level of elite quarterback play 16 games in a season. He just can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just can't. And anybody that can't see that, like I said, you just looking at Drew Brees from what he used to be. Drew Brees used to be able to do these things. But man, he's limited, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, you get old enough, you're not going to be what you used to be. You're not. But man, I just can't look. Man, they just can't keep on doing this, man. Like they can't keep on going out there because they're not living up to their true potential. They're not living up to their true potential, man. And the guys that can really be difference makers and they have like a different skill set, they can't even utilize it. And we're looking at these guys like with eyebrows raised and stuff. Like, what's wrong with him? Man, these guys getting jammed at the line of scrimmage, and because these guys are cutting off their routes because they know all this stuff gonna be short. Guys can't, run past nobody because they know the deep ball ain't coming. Man, come on, man. Like, man, you limiting your team by doing it. You might, still have that willingness to play. But at the same time, man, like you're affecting dudes' livelihoods doing that. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like you have these guys out here looking mediocre when they can be playing above average. Even if they can't get a good contract with the Saints, he can go somewhere else and get some big money because they have a quarterback that can show everything that they have to offer. But when you just throwing quick, little quick 5-yard slants and, everything just short and intermediate and you checking everything down, you captain check down, you Charlie check down, you Corey check down. Like, man, you limiting your team. And that ain't cool. That's not cool, man. That's not cool. We got to move on. Like, for real. I love Drew. But it's time to move on. Every year the Saints make a head-scratching move. I wonder which player it may be. Hopefully it's only Josh Hill. Wishful thinking, though. Well, we'll see. PJ needs to walk. PJ already walked. He a free agent. He had a 1-year deal. I think his old repaired shoulder has been bothering him the last few seasons. To be honest, the injury this year was the icing on the cake. Yeah, maybe it was, but look, if you cannot get the ball down the field, if you can't get the ball down the field, man, then teams aren't going to, teams just going to play the line of scrimmage. You know what I'm saying? They just going to play the sticks. That's it. They just going to play the sticks, because they know you ain't about to do nothing, you ain't about to throw nothing, behind them. You know you ain't about to throw nothing deep. Deep down, Drew knows it's time to go. Deep down inside. I think he already know. I think the Saints organization already know. They're just waiting on him to make the decision. We need to trade Andrews Pete and some first-round picks for Russ. Yeah, I mean, if anybody would want Andrews Pete, that would be a start. I would trade Pete before I trade Armstead. Enough of this Breeze talk. Are we going to make a run at Russ? I've heard they made a few phone calls. No disrespect, we need to move on from talking about Drew. It's done washed up. Yeah. I mean, until he actually makes his decision, it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing we can really do. So just talk about it. If you're Sean Payton and Loomis is put up or shut up, go get Wilson. Like I said, they called. They were one of the teams that called and inquired about him. I don't know what they were willing to offer. Nobody from the Seahawks or any insiders came out and said what the Saints were offering. If we resign Marcus Williams, who are we picking in the first round, TJ? I say a linebacker. I think, if you get a good, decent linebacker, you won't have to worry about, re-signing Quan Alexander. You won't have to worry about that. If you can get a guy that has a skill set that could possibly be similar to his. Gotta run, fam. Y'all take care and enjoy the rest of your day. Who that? Yeah, we about to end the show. Just gonna read a few more comments, then we're gonna get up out of here. Inevitable said we should be on the phone with Seattle right now. Wilson is special, and we should be taking advantage of this opportunity to get a guy that wills his team to victory that sometimes they shouldn't. Yeah, man. That's why I like Russell Wilson. I love his heart. I love his tenacity, his passion. He's just an amazing guy to watch. Mike T's production suffered. Yeah, man. They got him. Man, they got people out here call this man slant boy because basically that's all he can run because like Drew Brees limited him. Like when he first got to the team in 2016, man, Mike T was running everything. Let's see. Are we getting a podcast this week, TJ? Yeah, I'll put one up. I'll put one up soon, man. I try to put it out there. Wilson gets traded this offseason. Bank on it. Let me see. Bank on it. Out of the teams listed, the Saints are really the most logical choice. Yeah, they definitely are. Would be surprising if they decide to trade Russell. I'll be highly surprised if that happens. I ain't gonna lie about that. But I want to say thank you all for checking out the State of the Saints podcast. Thank you all so much. I really do appreciate it. And this show is brought to you by the fine folks at manscaped.com. As some of you may know, St. Patrick's Day is coming up. And if you want to get lucky, Manscaped has some great items for you. All right. This is some of the best men's grooming products that you're going to find. All right. And I got something for you. If you go to manscaped.com and you use the promo code State of Saints, that's all one word, State of Saints, you will save 20% on your purchase. No matter if it's $100, it can be $8, $6. If you use the promo code State of Saints, you will save 20%. And there's free international shipping that is available for you. So go to manscaped.com, use the promo code State of Saints so you can get lucky this St. Patrick's Day. All right. So y'all check it out. Manscaped.com. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to the State of the Saints podcast, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com. Search the State of the Saints podcast. Also facebook.com. Search the State of the Saints podcast. Previous episodes available on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio. And thank you all so much. This was the first episode. The State of the Saints podcast has been in 1080p, okay? High definition, man. So we're moving on up. We got the new mic here. We got the high definition, and we got sponsors. Sky's the limit here on the State of the Saints podcast. And thank you all so much for making this show what it is. Till next time, all I got to say is, who dat?